let's get into why Star Fox, for the third time, could be actually good.
We're entering Corneria City now.
The new Star Fox models, they look okay from certain angles until you see Fox in the new Direct, and then the whole thing just comes crashing down. I will say that these new models are kind of growing on me, but they're still not as cartoonish as, the original. With this game in particular, they were like, you get what you get, and you don't get upset. What I am getting upset over is how they massacred Slippy. He doesn't look good anymore. And I am certainly not getting upset over this new game. I'm so excited for this game. Cannot wait. Yeah. Something else that I'm noting as I'm rewatching this Direct is that all of the R-Wings have custom decals on them. And all of them have this decal of their biometrics. It's kind of like in Command when you have the fighters at the top of the screen. They all show the stats of their ships. Okay, so we're gonna be ranking these characters based on how good they look, I guess. So let's start with Slippies. All right, moving on, we're gonna be doing Bills, and I think that this deserves. It just looks like the original, to be honest. I guess because I can't see the eyes. So I'm going to be ranking that as an A tier, to be honest. Leon, let's get another. They made him look more dinosaur-like. Yeah, I feel like that deserves B tier. Pigma, I feel like they made him more foreboding looking and more intimidating. So I'm going to give that an A. For Wolf's model, I'm also going to give that an A. Andrew, I think B tier. He just looks too Illumination-like. He looks too much like the Illumination character. Cat's getting a C tier because the colors are wrong, and then it just doesn't look right. She already looked like a cat before, so I don't know why they needed to change up her model again. Falco's is also getting B. It doesn't look that bad. Pepe's is getting C. It just made him look wrong. And Fox's. Let's get. I feel like that deserves a B tier because it just. Yeah, they made all of these less cartoony. And it just doesn't look right. It looks like an Illumination movie. Well, not an Illumination movie. It looks like if they made a live-action movie and then put CGI characters in with the humans. And so if you made Starlink a movie, then this is what the models would look like. Yeah, so there's no S tier. I don't think we're going to go that far as to have an S tier. So yeah, that's my ranking of all the Star Fox characters. Okay, I really don't have much to say about these new voices. They sound good, they sound faithful. One thing I do want to say about these voices is how they changed what they say. Slippy just feels so much less appreciative of what Fox does in this scene, and it just takes away from the urgency of the situation. When they approach Corneria City, Falco says, "This is horrible," in a way that feels like he's remembering a place he has good memories of, and he's just seeing it destroyed. And then in this new version, he's just like, "Oh, Andros just destroyed the place." Can you believe this guy? I do want to mention how awful Pepper sounds in this version.
We need your help, Star Fox.
He just the way that they vocoded this specific part kind of just ruins the atmosphere. It's like in the original it just sounded like a radio, but in this new version it sounds like a robot, and I just feel like that kind of ruins the quotability of the original Star Fox 64 games. Because one of the best part of the original was the way that you could just quote a line and like you could understand. Now, as for new content, there isn't much in the way of that topic. Here are 3 things I think that are new. There's these new cutscenes. I feel like these will be in place of those callouts from General Pepper. It'll replace that part. And we also get new views on the Great Fox. We get a prologue with James. We can see how James McCloud was betrayed by Pigma and how he got captured. I really wish that they would have done a prequel game, but that's off topic. Anyways, they also have new challenge modes, which is cool. I think the coolest part out of all of this, though, is that they finally made a battle mode, like an actually good battle mode with teams that could actually kind of fit into the lore. Yeah, they've got the mouse controls, they've got the co-op, and I think that's it. Yeah, not much in the way of content. At the end of the day, we just gotta be grateful that a new Star Fox game is coming out and that Nintendo haven't completely abandoned it. So let's end off this video with a few pros and cons of the new Star Fox game. Pro: the new Star Fox game is a new Star Fox game. Con: it's just another 64 remake. Pro: there's new content. Con: it's just Star Fox 64. Pro: more lore. Con: it's just that we could have gotten more lore with, a prequel. Pro: better multiplayer. Con: no racing mode. Pro: new good models. Con: new bad models. Pro: cheaper end game. Con: it's a Switch 2 exclusive. Pro: closer look at the environment. Con: more cutscenes. Pro: more cutscenes. So, what did we learn today? That we shouldn't judge a book by its cover? That we shouldn't expect Nintendo to come out with absolute bangers every time? I think what we learned is that this next game is going to be a hit. It's going to be a hit. See you guys in another video.